escaped prisoner Moro. In the intense moment of seeking out Moro's location, Vegeta takes note of Goku's shocked demeanor. Ready for action, he turns to his fellow Saiyans seeking confirmation. Did he find Moro's key? With a sense of urgency, he wants to try to sense it for himself. But before he can, Goku frantically tells him don't! He could sense that he was searching for him. He could sense that? What does he mean? How could that be? Our hero doesn't know. It's like nothing he's felt before. To think he could do that. The magician's first trick is enough to impress even Vegeta. Well, the prince urges, what else could he sense? Was it a massive key signature? Though no, not quite. Vegeta speculates that he must mean more like God Key then. Which isn't right either. It's not that his power level is the scary part. His key itself wasn't that huge, but it was terrifying. He's never felt anything like it. It's as if a whole lot of people were screaming in pain. To Jocko, that's quite a spooky way to describe it. Mirrors chimes in to note that Moro is known for absorbing the life force of planets and turning it into his own power. In that sense, his very energy is a mass of slaughtered souls. Of all people, somehow this seems to take Vegeta aback just as much as Jocko. Mirrors continues that this also explains how he's lived for so long. Upon asking just how many people he has killed, it's told that it's more like entire planets. The individual number is too many to count. Either way, he sounds like bad news. In a rickety ship on the other side of the galaxy, or possibly the universe, a man who might be wearing Frieza Force garb pilots as the ominous outlaw sits behind him. The pilot notices something has gotten his passenger uneasy. He nervously questions what it is. Who gets right to the point and states that someone is seeking him. Much to the interest of the former. Really? Has the Galactic Patrol found him already? Gazing around, the wizard comments in his time away, life has managed to grow and spread throughout this universe. Which is true enough. He's been locked up for 10 million years. Still, whether due to the adrenaline of the prison break or for other reasons, the pilot is noticeably on edge. As the Magic Man wearily rubs his head, he worriedly questions if he's okay. It seems that scanning alone has taken Moro to his limit. His magical abilities are in a pathetic state. At any rate, the pilot explains that they're almost at their destination, so just hang tight a little longer. Prompting the Fiend to snarl. Indeed, I can hardly wait. Sending a shiver up his partner's spine. Picking up the pace, what is the destination of these two criminals? Back with the GP, Jocko queries where exactly Moro is headed then. There are no planets with life in the direction he's going. What do they think he wants? No, wait! Goku has been out that way before. But what? When? What's over there? And he's pretty sure it was when he went to see Dende. That must mean it's the planet the Namekians moved to. A fact Jocko takes a particular interest in. He demands they start talking. He thought their whole race got wiped out when Namek blew up. From the outside looking in, that would very likely appear to be the case, but they actually managed to save them all. But for their own safety, nobody is supposed to know where they're living. Mirrors mentions that now that Moro's magic has returned, he's likely capable of scanning for planets with life. And if the Namekians are truly alive, then Moro's goal must be... As Pasta interrupts, I hear those Namek folk got some wish-granting balls. Wish-granting balls? He means the Dragon Balls. Jocko shouts for him to start talking now. How does he know about the Dragon Balls? Who's surprisingly happy to. Back when he was doing hard time in Galactic Prison, one of his fellow prisoners was a deserter from Frieza's army. He told him a tale or two. The guy said that Frieza himself once went to Namek looking for these balls. Vegeta scowls more at Frieza's dregs just flapping their gums and stirring up trouble. The bandit continues. He smirks that he isn't interested unless there's profit to be made, so he didn't pay this tale much mind. But the cop's reaction just now, that tells him it is all true, isn't it? An obvious party foul by the Galactic Patrolman. So this former goon of Frieza's was looking for someone strong to help him find these particular balls. Odds are word got around to the strongest, baddest guy in prison, Moro. Not only does this confirm the previous speculation of the origin of the pilot, it's also probably safe to assume that all this additional exposition fits seamlessly into our narrative. Long story short, this means Moro is after the Namekian Dragon Balls. Or at least, there is a high probability. But Goku wonders what Moro would wish for though. Again chiming in unprovoked, Pasta chortles that if it were him, he'd wish for the Galactic Patrol to bite the dust. Bam! No questions asked. A 10 million year grudge is quite the force to be reckoned with. So Jocko having enough of the bad guy's mouth, he slams the shutters down on him, shouting that the three of them are getting locked up in Galactic Prison, and they're losing the key. The reality of the situation setting on Mirrors. This is far worse than they imagined. And returning to the villains. Moro states that it was his good fortune to even have an ounce of magic returned to him before his life expired. Trying to get everything straight, the former Frieza Force fighter remembers him saying something about getting some of his magic back a few years ago. It was that very same magic that allowed him to break free of that wretched cage. Given he also broke the pilot out of there too, he has to offer his thanks for that. But curiously only offering a cold glare in return. The man can merely awkwardly chuckle that he really did him a favor. Moving forward, the wizard utters that he still needs to obtain the veracity of his partner's tale. Which, yeah, he gets it. These Dragon Balls, do they really possess such power? And they sure do. They'll grant any wish you can think up. 3 wishes even. Something the Goats is very happy to hear, but the pilot contests. He promised he could use one of the wishes to escape to a planet where the Galactic Patrol and Frieza's army could never find him, right? And yes, of course, one wish alone is plenty for his own desires. And once this is fulfilled, he will no longer require his services. Although the XFF soldier thinks this sounds great, we're well aware of how conniving some villains can be. On New Namek, we see a small village with their familiar unique architecture, or even a couple Namekians showing the process of how one of their buildings is made, working from the ground up like some kind of clay. Huddled in prayer by their one-star ball, Mori iterates that it's thanks to the protection of the gods that they may live in peace. They mustn't forget to be grateful. And this peace must be guarded at all costs. The trio exit their sanctuary to return to the outside world. Mori ushers the youngsters off to go play. Something is noticed in the sky, alerting the elder. Someone questions if he sees that thing up there. It looks like a spaceship? Knowing the bad guy's gonna touch down on New Namek any minute now, Goku asks what do they do? They simply can't wait around for Buu to wake up. Whatever they choose, this Moro already knows to expect Goku. They might as well go right now. Vegeta agrees. He'd like to get a look at this villain with his own eyes. But go? How exactly? Even in the spaceship, they couldn't hope to arrive before Moro. Without offering a tag-along, Goku grins that he has instant teleportation. And they're gone just like that. But they mustn't! Confronting Moro now is far too dangerous. Zipping in, Mori wonders who this is now. With a signature happy-go-lucky attitude, he asks if the elder remembers him. Who of course does! It's actually wonderful to see him in good health. Meanwhile, Vegeta carries a very different tone. That Moro is already here. Which gets him serious as well. The elder questions what's going on here. In the air, Moro can already tell that the one seeking him earlier has come to this planet. He doesn't know how he crossed such a distance, but it would seem he's here to apprehend him. His counterpart curses the Galactic Patrol. Obviously, they don't value their lives if they're itching to tangle with Moro, appearing to scoot him out of the way. It's because he senses something he really likes. This one has spectacular energy. With the Namekians below getting filled in on the situation, Goku explains that they need to grab the Dragon Balls and run far away. A fearful Mori thanks him and assures that once again they're in his debt. As everyone scatters away, we have to ask why Goku wouldn't just teleport one of the balls to King Kai's planet or something. Now that they aren't light years apart, the prince informs Kakarot he's right. His ki is ominous, but not particularly battle-worthy. Is this truly the monster Mirrors warned him of? Well, that's hard to say. Goku has got a bad feeling about this. As the villain makes his grand entrance, it's nothing more than a feeble old man. Given how long he's lived, it makes sense. The Goatman taking a massive inhale. This is his first breath of fresh air in 10 million years. It's as though he's born again. At this point, I'm just gonna say it because I don't think it's much of a spoiler. The Frieza Force soldier's name is Cranberry, who looks on curiously as he sees someone familiar. Is that Vegeta? Why is he here? Goku calls after their target. He's guessing he's Moro. They've heard he's done some pretty nasty things. So how about he turn around and go right back to prison? However, the Saiyan's words are the last thing on the wizard's mind. The young child has failed to make his way out of the village. It looks like the boy who wanted to play hide and seek. What? Using telekinesis to retrieve him, the villain now has a hostage. Holding him by the neck, Goku bellows out for him to let him go. What is his scheme? Who snarls for him not to worry? This one is merely food. That's when Mori realizes Eska's gone. Has anyone seen him? As Moro's magic begins to do its thing, Goku rushes over for him to cut that out! When it's actually Vegeta who gets to him first. The Elder runs back to the village to get the boy to safety. Meanwhile, Vegeta seems to take a particular offense to the crime Moro just committed. The mage taunts. You would dare interrupt my long-awaited meal. Vegeta bluntly details he has a troubled history with these Namekians. He did them untold harm, so he can't allow even one more of them to perish. And they are most certainly not his food. He tells Kakarot to let him take this one, taking a personal interest. Who's cool with it, but they still don't know much about his power, so he's got to be careful. Breaking out Super Saiyan, Vegeta scoffs that they say he uses magic. Just try it. Moro's confidence doesn't waver even after so long in captivity. He chuckles at the thought of this man believing he could apprehend him. His ignorance runs deep.
Take this!
He went and joined the Galactic Patrol? As this fiend clearly has some special powers up his sleeve, Goku no doubt is taking notes for when he inevitably is up against him. Unfazed by the wizard's onslaught, now using the original Super Saiyan God form, a cocky Vegeta mocks if he wants to continue. leaving himself open and taking a whole foot to the face. Vegeta was curious to see for himself what kind of beast could terrify the Galactic Patrol. How disappointing. As it seems this planet has a penchant for making villains want to impale their foe, Vegeta sneers that they've come up against plenty of bizarre powers in their fights. This is nothing new. Still a ways away, the GP pilot wants to know what they should do. Should they go to New Namek too? For one reason or another, Eris is reluctant to. He wants to head back to HQ. Majin Buu's aid is indispensable. Jaco argues that there's a decent chance they've already taken down Moro. Those two are strong, a teeny weeny bit stronger than even himself. Somehow managing to keep a straight face, Miris relents that even if that is the case, it's very unlikely they'll win. Tossing off his cloak, Moro is almost happy that it won't be as easy as he thought. So then, the Saiyans hope to witness his magic. As they wish. With the fight with Moro beginning, how could this ancient wizard possibly stand up to Goku and Vegeta with their current power? Is his magic really as powerful as the Galactic Patrol fear? If so, just what is his plan to take down our heroes?